Okay, we are streaming, guys. Give me just a second and I can put this in the right folder. I'm on my my work laptop, so it's going to take me just a bit longer because I don't have all the screens to play with. But this will be the introduction for the first day of class for your second 7-week college algebra, the 8 a.m. Monday through Thursday class. Okay, give me just a second. Put this video in the right folder. There we go. Okay. So today we're just going to go through the Blackboard shell. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. If you're in the class, if you're not, email me and you're more than welcome to ask me. But this is a Monday through Thursday class. A lot of you guys are coming from the first 7-week, and there are some distinct differences in this class compared to the first 7-week class. So I'm going to go through those. Hopefully I'll hit those throughout this video. And if I don't hit it, just let me know, and I will, of course, be happy to answer anything. Okay, so let's go into your Blackboard shell. Let me share my screen in just one second. Let me share my screen. There we go. Okay, so here's Blackboard, and when you get logged in, scroll down and you should see your second 7-week college algebra class. So let's go through the syllabus first. Of course, that's me, Mr. Shirley. Best way to get in touch with me is by email. My phone number is listed along with my boss. My office hours are the same as they were the first semester, 11 through 1, Monday through Thursday, and then 9 to 11 on Friday. But the biggest difference because of COVID is that you've got to email me and let me know when you want to meet. I've set aside those times for you, but you need to let me know if you want to meet me at a certain time so we can set up the actual meeting. The book right there, there's a picture of it. It's the Blitzer 6th edition. It's an older book. You should be able to find it on Amazon. Not too expensive. It's also in our bookstore. If you use a book voucher, just need it now, you can run over to the bookstore and they have plenty of those books in stock. Okay. You will also need a graphing calculator. It can be a TI 83 or 84. Did I include the link in this one? No, I didn't include the link. If you get on Amazon, you can find those 83s and 84s for, not bad. I know I found them for like a used one for around $30 to $40. New, you're going to be paying probably $100 plus for a new one of those. So you'll need that for the class. And actually, since it's a 7-week class, you're going to need it pretty quickly. We're going to rely on it in chapter 3, but then it's best to get it sooner because we can get comfortable using it if you've never used one before. There's course name, course rationale. You guys can read all that stuff. Content, what we're going to cover. Management, regular attendance is essential. Come to class. Late assignment policy. All late tests will be assessed at 20-point penalty. So your lowest test score will be dropped and replaced with your final. The final won't be, the final is due on a certain date. If you don't get it done, you don't get to make that up. Okay. So grades are down there at the bottom. You've got 6 tests total, 5 regular tests are all worth 100 points. And then the final, which is worth 100 points. And then again, your final replaces your lowest test grade. Final exam information is a little different. Or let's talk about homework first, because that's probably the most common question I get. Now, a lot of you guys are coming from the first 7 weeks, so it's the same homework policy I have for the first 7 week. For the second 7 week, you will not have I won't be taking up homework. You won't have to send in homework. You won't have to take a picture of homework or anything like that. Homework is for you because the tests are built upon the homework. So that homework is for you to be done. You do not have to turn it in, or actually you don't turn it in. It's not that you don't have to, you just don't. The test will be created based off the homework. Okay. Another thing is your final exam information. Your final, you can't score higher than 1 letter grade above the proctored final. So that is a major difference from the first semester the first 7 week and this 7 week. Your final, you're going to have, I'm going over the final exam information now. Final exam for this class is a common college algebra exam that will be proctored through the testing center on campus. It's a multiple choice, Scantron type test. I'll go over how to register for the test, but you can find all the information right here in the final exam information tab in Blackboard. Dates to take the final exam are, April 30th, May 3rd, and May 4th, which are set aside for you. You must register to take the final exam by the first test date, because Ms. Hayworth set aside those times for you guys for this class. So they have to be registered by then. So we have those times set. So you need to go in, I would go in today and set up that final exam information and set, and actually I'll show you too in this class how to actually register for this for the test. Okay. Again, tests, you've got 5 tests in a final, very straightforward. Grades are straightforward. And that's it. So if you have a disability, please get in touch with me. I'll make any accommodations that are needed. I just have to know about them. I won't discriminate. And then smoking and drinking and all that fun stuff. The best way when students come and ask me like how, I bombed the first test or whatnot, and I don't know how I'm going to pass this class, what can I do? The very first thing I say is to get in touch with the tutoring center on campus. And I need to put her email in there. It's actually very basic. It's tutoring@asumh.edu. Okay, tutoring@asumh.edu. You will get Miss Althea Daniels. She is the best tutor, especially on our campus. And she has helped many students pass this class that I really honestly didn't think would pass. She knows what she's doing. If you're willing to put forth the effort, she of course will be able to help you get to the finish line. Okay, so whenever you want to email me after the first test and say, I don't know, I thought I was so awesome at math, which is great. I'm glad you had the confidence, but turns out that you just need some help with some information in algebra, because we all need that sometimes, and especially to catch up. Well, I would get in touch with Miss Daniels. Okay, so now let's move on. The schedule is right here. Now, look, the main thing about this schedule, it is not set in stone. Today, as you can see, we've got the introduction. It's 7 weeks long. The finals not included here because the final starts the Friday after the 7 weeks. So it's the Friday after the 7 week or the Monday and Tuesday of the next week. That's when you can take the final. Again, you're going to have to set that up through the testing center. But notice this is not set in stone. Test 1 is next Tuesday. That's when you have to have your date and time to take your test by then. Okay, you have to have that done by next Tuesday. But what's different if you were in the first 7 week compared to this 7 week is the tests are actually on days. They're not given like over the weekend. You can't just have 4 days to take it. You have to take it the day of the test. If you do not take this test the day of the test, you will be penalized 20 points. Okay, so that's a lot different than the college, the intermediate test, if I remember correctly. I think I gave you 3 or 4 days. I can't remember now. But if you do not take this test on the day of the test, you will receive a 20-point penalty. Okay, straightforward 20 point penalty. If there is something, just some outstanding circumstance that you couldn't control, email me. That's fine, but I'm going to take 20 points off. Okay, you will get 20 points off for taking these tests late. And I'm going to tell you, I hate to say this because I feel like I'm talking to my kid, and you guys are not my children, but it is for your best good, because you do not need to fall behind in this test or in this class. It is a 7 week class. If you fall behind, it will snowball extremely fast. Okay, I've got some extra stuff. It was just some videos, not a big deal, but let's go to lecture videos. So this is how you watch the lectures, because a lot of us are going to be watching these at night before the next test. If you weren't in the last class, the way you watch the lecture video is you hit that very top right button and it shows you every lecture for the class so far. I've made 3. I had a little introduction. Actually, that's today. A college algebra introduction. That's like a little 5-minute introduction before the class. I'll probably take that video out because it's going to be a lot smaller than this one. And then I've got a video on how to register for the proctored final. which is in the final exam information. And then I've got today's lecture, which is just called Introduction. I should maybe say Introduction Lecture 1. But that's how you watch the video. It's just on one playlist. And so I don't have 40 videos all in one tab. It was nice putting it in this clean little playlist on YouTube. Okay, the test will be here. You guys won't be able to see it on your side until the first test is put in. But once it's put in and once it's open, like next Tuesday for the first test, it'll pop up and you will see test 1 and it'll be right in this tab. Zoom information is right here. That you can just copy and paste that link and you'll go right to this Zoom meeting, or you can use the Zoom ID. Best way to get in touch with me again is by email right here. This will send an email directly to me. And what's nice, when you send an email to me through this, in this manner, it tells me which class you're in. So therefore I can help you easier. If you decide to just email me through your Gmail, which is a-okay, realize I don't know which class you're in. So you need to put, 7-week college algebra, something like that. Because if not, I won't know where you're coming from. And then of course the final exam information. So again, your final exam will be a cumulative proctored exam. The testing center will have 3 dates that you can choose from to take the proctored exam. The following video shows the steps to register for a proctored exam final. This will need to be done before our first exam. If you have any further questions, if you're watching the video, please contact me. Again, I'm going to do a quick rundown of what that video states, but you need to watch it. ASUMH Testing Center. I'm going to Google ASUMH Testing Center. It brings it straight up. The very first option is Testing Center. And then on the right, you're going to see, click here to schedule an exam. And then the group that you are is in-person placement exam. Oh, actually, no, ASUMH course-related exam. And then you're proctored in person. You need to choose an exam. You're going to choose 120 minutes because your final, you get 120 minutes for, actually for all finals, you get 2 hours. Choose a date, and then you need to go over to April. So April 30th is one date, May 3rd or May 4th. So if I click on May 4th, it'll give me times. I'm going to say 2:30. I'm not going to finish this, so I'm not going to block with that slide. Who's taking the exam? So you need to fill that out with your own information. Click on the guidelines and then put in your phone number. If you don't have your ASUMH ID, that's fine. Just put NA. But if you do, put it in. Professor name, that is me, Mr. Shirley. Okay, and then you add to cart. Now, it'll be free because it's course-related proctored exam. Okay, and you need to get that done by the first test. Okay, by the first test. So let me, oh crap, I didn't do that. Yeah, very, very straightforward. So I think that's it for the introduction. I'm going to open it up for any questions that you guys have. Let me stop sharing here. I think I've hit everything. Yeah. You guys, there's only 2 of you in here right now. You can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand. I'll call on you. It's no big deal. But do you guys have any questions about this class this semester? I'll tell you why you're. Oh, did you have a question?
Can you retell me the tutoring center's email?
Oh, I'll put it in the chat. It's just tutoring
all right.
at asumh.edu. That's all it is.
I have a feeling I'm gonna need it.
Yeah, and I'm even if you feel like you don't need it, I would get with her. I would just almost do like check-ins or something. She's a good way to hold yourself accountable, to set up a date and time to meet each week. Or actually, you might need more than that because it's a 7-week class, right? I mean, really, there's weeks for every week, so good way to do it. I guess really now that I'm thinking about the major differences, if you were in the first week class, I've gone over everything. If you weren't in the first week class, you'll be fine. I haven't hit something that isn't in there, but the major differences is the proctored final, and then only having the single test day for the test to be open. And I'll send you emails like I did last time. Announcements when the tests are open and available. Okay.
And they'll be on like weird dates, won't they? Like having our first one on Tuesday.
Exactly. It doesn't line up well like the intermediate or the developmental 2 class lined up. So like the first one's like next Tuesday, and the second one I can't remember. It's like maybe on a Monday. It's different in that manner. Where in the dev class it was easier to line them up all on Actually, I think, and there were 6. There are only 5 for this class.
Mm,
But yeah, it was just easier to line them up on Thursdays last semester.
I mean, whatever works. But like this has to be more structured because it's a full college class and all that fun
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
Okie doke. That's about the only question I have, other than no, I have the right calculator. I was already in this class. Never mind.
Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? I don't. And guys, you guys that are watching this later, please email me. In the past, I would not do a class like this. I wouldn't do an introduction. But because of all the craziness with the COVID and it being online and then weirdly not online, but you can't come to class, you can Zoom in. So, for this class, you can't Zoom in. You could watch it later, right? Either one's fine. But because of that, we just really, I needed to lay a good, guideline lecture down. Or if this was a city class, this would have been my first 20 minutes, and then I would have gone on and lectured for the first class. Okay. Great. Well, I will see you guys later. Let me stop this recording. And tomorrow we will start with the 1.5. I think